Good morning. Let's make sure we're going good. Checking. Checking. Yeah, okay, we're good. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. My name's Ryan. I get stuff from yard sales, garage sales, thrift stores, and various other places. Try to make a few extra bucks online. I have an audience of about a dozen right now, it seems, that like to jump on here and view the stuff I've sold over, usually over the weekend, and some of the stuff I found and that sort of thing. So, hi. Anyway, couple of things to talk about today. This past weekend was probably the biggest book sale in my area of the year. The Friends of the Library book sale was something like 100,000 books. And the line is 100 deep when they open the line is over 100 deep when they open the doors. I was number 77 in line. I showed up almost an hour early. That's how, and I think there's people who like they park their campers and stay there overnight. This is that big of a sale. Um, I spent probably about 150 bucks. I don't know that I'll do as well this sale as I have in the past. I don't see that I had it for 3 years straight. I had $100 fine at the book sale. This year, I think I may have a couple in the $40 to $50 range. Thought I had one that was going to go higher, but but I'll talk about it if I can. Yeah, I'll talk about it in a minute. I don't think it is. I think if I found it in a specific format, it would be, but it's not going to be. That being said, I think I'll make some money. I just don't think I won't blow the roof off. But this is a big bread and butter event. So we'll jump into that after I talk about the few sales I had over the weekend, which were few and nothing huge, but some stuff did move. This is my last. I have no idea why these sold the way they did. Like I cleared out. There you go. I cleared out these batch of Methodist hymnals. 1939 Methodist hymnal was selling them about $3 plus shipping, and they all wiped out in the past 2 months. Just sold them all. I had them sitting around for almost 2 years, maybe longer, maybe over 2 years. I just kind of had them sitting, and they all sold like all at once. I don't know if it was it's one of those algorithm likes you things. If they finally found demand, and I had them priced right, I don't know, but they sold. So, Mattei and the Bolo for 1939 Methodist hymnals. If you get them for 50 cents a piece, maybe. I don't know that I'd spend $1 on these. Though I may catch a hair and grab them next time and try them again, but I don't know that I would. That being said, and these finally sold, and I honestly had about 30 of them, and they all finally went, and they all piecemealed out. Like not one person might have bought two at one point. So anyway, there's that. We're going to talk about hymnals later. Next up, another $8 sale. McGuffey's Eclectic Readers. If you see these for any edition for $1 or less, grab them and flip them. They're really good if you have the whole set of like 6 or 7 of them all at once. I've sold those before, but then I think this may have been like a death pile sale too. I had it sitting around a little too long. I need coffee for that. Next up, I think this one would have sold better a few years ago. Who's Who in Psychic Atlanta, 1988. So that was a weird find. This came out of my heresy box. And this one for $8. I'd had this up for a long time. I was glad to see that finally sell. Because it probably cost me more than it did on fees and on listing fees and stuff, with keeping it flipping over. All right. The next two are from the book sale. These sold. I got a bunch of stuff listed Friday. The book sale I did Thursday morning. Had a handful of stuff listed Thursday afternoon. Listed most of it by Friday. And I had 2 sales right off the bat. That's what these are going to be. If I can, who's a harsh mistress? Yes, this one. Robert Heinlein, The Moon is a Harsh Mistress. This book sells in just about any format. So new, old, whatever. Heinlein, Moon is a Harsh Mistress. This went for $15 and it went in like 2 days. So and this isn't even like a first edition or anything. So that's one of the Heinlein books that sells. There was a handful of Heinlein books, but they had them priced higher this year. Usually they're $1 a piece, and instead there were a handful that were $3 or $4 for Heinlein paperbacks. And I'm not. That really puts it over the pricing that where it's worth making money on. Because you can lot up Heinlein, but if you get them for $1 a piece, there's a handful that they lot up real easy at $3 or $4 a piece, and you put 4 or 5 together, and you're good. I just couldn't do that this year with these. They had to be hits individually right off. So I didn't pick up as many Heinleins as I usually do. I've picked up a dozen at this sale before. So that's all that. And finally, that one. There you go. Hymnals. Sold a hymnal. Where did I put the hymnal down? Well, I sold one. There it is. Baptist hymnal. This is like the 97, the 90s version. This went for $12. Yeah, $12 for a Baptist hymnal. So I bought plenty. They had these priced right. I bought what looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 hymnals at this sale for $1 a piece. So, and I will do that all day long. If you jumping on here and watching, look down at go to my videos, and I have a hymnal guide on how to buy and sell hymnals. A lot of people have them priced lower. Sometimes you can get them at church sales if you ask right. I've done that once or twice where I've picked up a lot of churches have gone to like this has happened 10 years ago. A lot of churches have gotten away from using hymnals in the pulpits, and they use screens and that sort of stuff. And so they have boxes and boxes of these, and they don't necessarily get rid of them. And they're willing to sell them. Or you get I've gotten a bunch donated to Goodwill in big lots and all that sort of stuff, and picked them up. And the 2 big ones that you can find, particularly here in the South, Baptist hymnals, and one called the Hymnal for Worship and Celebration. Also one called the Celebration Hymnal. Those are kind of the 3 more common ones I think that I see that I can grab for $1 or $2 and flip for 12 to 17 pretty easily. So, and I actually what happened a few weeks ago was I had probably 25 to 30 hymnals for worship and celebration, and a local church came and bought the whole from all of them for me for like $10 a piece cash, which I'll take all day long. So that was a pretty good sale. One final sale. I have a 2014 Expedition, and this is the rear camera off of it that I had to replace because this only works with the original console radio unit, and that broke. The camera is fine, so this went for $35. So I pulled it and didn't have to trash it, and it took a couple of years, but that finally sold. So that's my sales. On to talking about the book sales. A Friends of the Library book sale. They've gotten kind of popular, I think, over the past few years. A lot of libraries, and sometimes even libraries, have their own small little book section where they sell books off, and that's why I hit one here about once a month, because there's not a lot of turnover in it. And I usually hit the sci-fi paperbacks and hardcovers first. I let all the scanners attack everything else. They're pretty knowledgeable about their books and the way they price them at this sale, so I kind of have to get some of the under the radar stuff, and I avoid the guys scanning for Amazon finds, which there's a lot of. And so what I got this go round was tons of gore books, uh, which I find are okay sellers. They're not great. They sell decent, okay in lots. Read with discretion on the things, but I grab those and I'll flip those pretty good. And I got a handful of uh, some okay hardcovers, sci-fi, um, science fiction hardcovers, and these will probably go. Most of these are a handful of $20 finds, some more in the lines of $10 to $15 sales. Didn't find as many Lord of the Rings books this year to flip. They had them either priced a little higher, or there just wasn't that many. There was one year I must have found a dozen of what this version of Lord of the Rings. I must have found a dozen of them one year, and they all sold. So this is actually a good one to find. These are almost an easy $8 to $10 book by themselves. I've got all three in a set that I wadded up. So that was pretty decent. Found a handful of these are another bread and butter. These white spined Great Illustrated Classics. These go well in Facebook Marketplace at like a $3 or $4 per book. Typically speaking, I'm going to list a bunch of those this weekend. Smattering of other stuff. A few Dragonlance and Forgotten Realms books. If I can get those for a buck or two or cheaper, sometimes I grab those depending on my mood. And some of those are worth a little bit too. So is that all? So that all in all, I spent about $150. I hoping I make $250 to $300 off of what I bought. We'll see. I know I'll make my money back plus my eBay fees, but the question is, am I going to be really majorly profitable this year off that sale? Probably. I didn't find the one big find that I thought I had. That I think these will probably sell, but not as well. There's this set of 6 Jim Corbett books about his adventures in India, like a real life animal tiger hunter. There's a set of these hardcovers. The box set of these sells for $111. These are like a local school library donation. That's probably $50 to $75 as those are. And that's probably the big find I had from that sale. Again, most of the money is probably going to come off of these hymnals in the $12, $15, $17 range. I don't think I'll have trouble selling most of those off. So that's what happened on this go around with that sale. Sales have been good though. Nothing to really complain about. I sold another one of those recognition planes for $200 late last week. So that's been really elevating everything I've been doing. And sales have been good for a month. For some reason, I don't know if the algorithm likes me, if the slowdown of the war of Iran has helped, or if it's just one of those things that just happens and you can never really kind of figure out because there's 800 things that affect why one guy sells well and gets on a streak on eBay. So that's how it's been going. So like, comment, subscribe, and maybe I'll catch y'all next time.